Welcome back to a brand new spoiler review of the HBO and HBO Max show Euphoria. We're breaking down the penultimate episode, episode 7, which really centers around Lexi's play, which is based on the true lives of our main characters. My name is Max Denenberg. Welcome back to a brand new Euphoria review here at Max Talks Movies. If you're new to the channel, every single Monday I've been doing reviews of the past 6 episodes of Euphoria. Also, I did a year ago the 2 special episodes, spoiler reviews, and sadly we only have one more Monday of talking Euphoria. So please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this episode and what are your bold predictions for the finale of Euphoria. Season 2 finale, it's already been renewed for 3, so let me know your bold predictions for season 2. Comment down below as well your just general thoughts. Are you liking the show, not liking the show? And thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel in the best way possible. And please subscribe, ring the bell. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, box office breakdown shows. The box office breakdown will be tomorrow, Tuesday, due to the President's Day weekend. So I will do a box office breakdown show on Tuesday. But right now, let's focus on Euphoria. So we were all pretty much building up to Lexi's play being one of the major storylines that set up all the characters. And it turns out it's so big that it is a 2-part basically episode where we had a to be continued cliffhanger at the end of this episode. And we learned that Lexi's play is based completely, as we all assumed, based on the characters themselves. So Rue is in the play. These are not the actors are, Zendaya's not doing it, but other actors are like doppelgangers, as they said in the post stuff. Doppelgangers of our main characters. So Rue, Maddie, Cassie, Nate, Cassie and Lexi's mom, their dad, they're all portrayed in the play. And you knew this was going to happen, but the dude builds it up very well with having Lexi and Fez basically talk back and forth. Lexi's kind of afraid that it could hurt, Cassie's feelings. And he's like, she's going to be hurt either way. If I told her not to come or told her to come, maybe it was probably better to not let her come. But I think she wanted a little bit of, this is the first time that Lexi is basically in the spotlight. And why this is so great is because as a character, she really wasn't written to be this in front of the camera. She's basically become an observer in the first 2 seasons of the show. And this is the first time that she is completely in the spotlight. She's playing herself. This is her play. And this is how she's seen our characters that we've come very close with on a week-to-week basis. And I know a lot of people that deserve it. So Zendaya needs an Emmy win probably again, but Maude Apatow deserves at least an Emmy nomination. This is a really mesmerizing and fantastic performance, really in this entire season, but mainly this episode. She's become one of my favorite top 2, top 3 characters for me in the show, because I feel like I would be her character in this group of friends. I'm normally the person who's not wanting the spotlight, wanting to observe more. And Lexi's a very relatable character. I think a lot of us really can relate to Lexi. And her being in the spotlight was so great to see, but it was also funny seeing everyone also react. At the same time, yes, Lexi was in the spotlight and Lexi was acting and performing, and this is her play. But you're also getting the reactions of everyone watching it, because Rue's in the crowd reacting, Jules is reacting, Elliot, but mainly the Cassie, Nate, Maddie trio and Kat, they're all reacting to this, and things can get pretty intense. So let's start with the stuff that's not in the play first, which is the Fez stuff. Fez is about to leave. Fez is like, I'll be there first row. He's dressing up for her. And you can tell that they really both are falling in love with each other, which I think is one of the cuter aspects of season 2, a romance that I don't think any of us really saw coming heading into this season. So Fez is getting ready, and with a guy who is clearly working with the police is coming in, and he's like, I'm going to chill out. Fez is like, I'm out of here. He's like, I'll chill here. He tells Faye something just to be cool. So Faye's kind of in the mix. And Ash is kind of watching this whole conversation. Ash kind of walks over with a knife. He can kind of smell something is up. And right before Fez is about to leave, he says, is everything okay? And that's the last time we see Fez in this episode. I did believe heading into the season, I still believe this. I have a bad feeling about Fez in this season. I think he could be, if anyone I think is going to die in this show next week, I think a good chance that it will be Fez. For some reason, it feels like this is just not going to work out for him. Because he got himself out of trouble last season. The question is, how many more times can Fez get himself out of trouble? hopefully he does, because I want to see Fez and Lexi as a couple in season 3. I just have a bad, as in Star Wars, I have a bad feeling about this. So let's get to the actual play. One of my favorite aspects of the play was actually Ethan, who who broke up with Kat last week. Is playing multiple characters in the play. He plays Cassie and Lexi's mom, which got the mom some really funny reactions. He played their dad. And then he played Nate as well. So we'll get to that, the Nate stuff at the end. We'll just go in order of what it affects. One of my favorite aspects, again, of the play was they really fleshed out the Lexi and Rue relationship and the friendship, because it's something that we always knew they were friends from season 1, but I just never felt that complete bond on why they were friends, why Lexi always stayed friends with Rue. And I thought this episode did a really amazing job of why Lexi and Rue were friends, how they were friends, and when it kind of went downhill, which is basically when we met up with the characters in season 1, where they were kind of friends, but not really as close as they were. And you can really see that when, Lexi went in to talk to Rue after her father died, them chilling out on top of Fez's store. Just a lot of great scenes. And I think what also needs to be added into the compliments of this episode is the editing and the directing, the back and forth between Lexi's play of the fictional, the play aspect of what happened, and going back and forth between the play and what actually happened, and cutting that back and forth. I think Levinson and the editors of Euphoria did an amazing job cutting back and forth between the play and what's actually happened. And I thought that made the episode a lot better as a whole. Could have been the play and would have been a boring 40, but they did a great job of editing and the music and the characters reacting to make this a really energetic episode. But as Maud Apatow explains in the post, the interview aspect of the ending of Euphoria, end of this episode, the enter Euphoria, aspect of it, how we got some scenes with Lexi and Cassie, and we had in season 1, all of those scenes from Cassie's perspectives, and how Cassie was always happy to be around their dad, and how Cassie was kind of happy, but Lexi was a total mess about it. You can tell the dad was drunk and all these different things. And you kind of saw the dynamic between the two of them. And then one of the the most emotional scene was both in the play and in real life, the cutting it back and forth of Lexi dancing with her dad, and just that being a thing for her, just them two by themselves, because Cassie was always involved. We had Lexi's perspective on Cassie. Cassie was seen as, obviously the hot one, obviously, and the one who's known for her body, and, Lexi not really being known for anything, and wanting to know if that body will come, and that's how people will know who she is, and all these different things. I thought it was a good relationship. And, Cassie kind of sitting there crying as some of these things were happening in an emotional way. She got pissed off at the end of the episode, which we'll get to in a bit, but she was emotional in a good way. She had to leave the room once Lexi was dancing with her dad, which I thought was the best part of the episode, was that little scene. You don't get anything really between Rue and Jules. We basically said that they basically haven't been talking to each other. They see each other in school, but don't say anything to each other. Elliot pops in for like 10 seconds, doesn't have a word of dialogue. We also get the ending of that big fight between Maddie, Cassie, and Kat in episode 5. So after that was revealed, Cassie goes right to her bathroom, and Maddie and Kat follow her. And basically Maddie's like, it's not even about Nate. The fact that you would do this because I would never do it to you. And Kat's just sitting there, and it looks pretty violent at first, that Maddie's just pissed off because it's Nate. And Maddie made it clear it's not just because it's not Nate. It's just because I can't imagine you ever doing that to me. And then Lexi's play obviously symbolizes how the Cassie and the Maddie relationship affected her, which was another really smart aspect of the play. Before we get to the ending, the big ending of the play, we have a nice scene from the continuation of last week. I guess it's between Rue and her mom. And the mom just kind of puts her foot down finally and just says, you're about to be 18. You're going to be out of this house, and you're going to have to make your own decisions if you want to stay on this, stay alive or not. But I can't lose 2 kids. And she's like, why? Gia's doing all right. And, the mom was like, she's not. She's getting D's in math. She's getting detentions. She's already up when she's not supposed to be. And you can kind of tell that the effects of Rue have kind of really affected Gia. And the mom was kind of like, you're going to be out of the house, and I would rather save one of my kids than lose both of them. And the one kid I'm going to save is Gia, and basically putting this all on Rue, that Rue, like, you're old enough now to make your own decisions. If you want to kill yourself from drugs, you can do that. If you want to stay alive and help us out, that would be great. But you're 18, you got to make your own decisions. And I need to focus on saving Gia, basically. And I thought it was a really good scene, of a really authentic scene. It wasn't a jerk move, or she wasn't a jerk to Rue. She had to let it out. And that's that Gia is not doing well, and she needs to make sure Gia is doing okay. Rue's already at her point. They've helped her, and she hasn't really come back from it in a good way. And they're still not going to give up on Rue, but they kind of just need to focus. She needed to focus on Gia, which I thought was a really, again, really great scene. But let's get to the big arc of the episode, which is Ethan playing Nate. And it's a whole gym scene, basically showing, trying to I guess Lexi trying to poke fun at Nate's sexuality. It's a whole very sexualized locker room scene. There's some inappropriate, I don't want to get into the inappropriate parts of it on this channel, because I don't want to get flagged or anything. But it was very sexualized, let's just say, dance sequence. And the guy who played Ethan did an amazing job in the choreography, the acting. The guy who played Ethan, I'm a huge fan of, and other stuff. And nice to see him finally get a big chunk of a role here in this episode, because as Ethan, he barely had anything to do, because that's one with him and Kat has been very much sidelined in this season. And finally putting him in the forefront, what I thought was a really funny idea. But Nate, you can already feel the intensity when it started, that Nate was going to be pissed off, because he's a very private person about these things, especially about sexuality. And everyone's going crazy and laughing at Nate. And no one can believe that she's just basically, I guess, exposing Nate in front of the whole school. And it's just gone out of control. Maddie's like, Lexi, you're a G. Like, everyone's really happy about this. Obviously, Nate is not. And Nate basically storms right out of some of the reactions from, again, Maddie and Rue were really amazing. And Jules were really amazing as this scene was happening. But then it sets up that you can see Nate kind of looking around. He's like, is this really happening? And then it starts to completely escalate. And then his fist, he starts to get really tight. And, you know, Cassie kind of knows what's happening. But it's also the first time that Nate's really showing her the dark side of Nate. Cassie really hasn't seen that yet. And it looks like this is the first breaking point of the relationship. Nate storms off, and Cassie's like, it's okay, it's whatever. And Nate's like, this is your sister. How did you not know this is going to happen? Pack up your stuff. You're moving out of my place. And Nate leaves like, you're done. We're done. Relationship is done. You had to pack your stuff and get out of the house. This is your sister. You needed to know this was going to happen. So Nate's basically pissed at Cassie. And then Cassie is pissed, and we end with her breathing on the door. And you know she's about to ruin this whole play for Lexi, but it says to be continued. So again, really amazing episode. This is the best show for me on TV. As you know, I break down every week that this is a really special episode. I think Lexi being in the forefront was really great. Maud Apatow brings her all, and she's an amazing actor. She's not just the daughter of Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann. She is now her, I think she's been her own thing for a while, but a lot of people don't. In the mainstream, I think this episode is giving her best acting of her career. Hopefully she gets a lot more stuff because of this performance. Hopefully Fez is okay. We'll see where Fez ends up next week. And where all the characters end up. Are Nate and Cassie still a thing after the end of next week? How big does this big Cassie and Lexi face off possibly next week do? All these things are going to happen. One more episode, sadly, of season 2. Luckily, it has been renewed, but who knows when the episode will happen, because everyone has been so busy. But please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. Box office breakdown show will be tomorrow. I don't have any more Peacemaker or Boba Fett reviews anymore, so nothing on Wednesday and Thursday. But get back, again, box office tomorrow. And then the following Monday, I should also, this upcoming week, have a Space Force Season 2 review, as well as the Righteous Gemstones Season 2 review next week. And the season finale, a week from today, I'm going to be breaking down the season finale of Euphoria. So please like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys soon.